This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for April 12, 2023. And in the news this evening, 13-year-old girl among two shot in Manchester attempted robbery. A 13-year-old girl and a 49-year-old man have been hospitalized after they were shot and injured during an attempted robbery in Harmonds, south of Manchester on Tuesday night. A police source told the news that about 9 p.m., 3 people were closing a shop in Harmonds when 2 gunmen traveling on a motorcycle attacked them. The 2 men on the motorcycle with firearms attempted to rob them after they closed the shop. The gunmen were unsuccessful, and when leaving, they opened a fire, hitting the 13-year-old and the man. The other person was not shot, said the source. Residents told the news that the 13-year-old and her mother had just closed the shop and were traveling on a bike taxi ridden by the man when the gunmen attacked. The 2 injured people were taken to hospital and admitted for treatment. Police still searching for attackers in Manchester murder. The Manchester police are still on the hunt for the persons responsible for the murder of a man in the community of Shadley in Christiana on Monday. The deceased is 51-year-old Anthony Williams. It is reported that Williams was shot and killed by unknown assailants at approximately 11:30 p.m. The police are encouraging anyone with information to come forward. 11 homeless after railway lane fire in St. James. 3 children are among at least 11 people left homeless after fire destroyed several dwellings on railway lane Montego Bay in St. James on Tuesday night. No injuries were reported. Eyewitnesses told the news that the blaze was first noticed about 8:30 p.m. Fire was seen coming from one of the structures in the tightly packed tenement yard-style space. The fire reportedly spread quickly, and within minutes several other houses were engulfed. 2 units from the nearby Barnett Street fire station responded to the blaze. Despite their speedy response, for which they were commended by residents, they were unable to prevent the destruction of 3 buildings, which housed 7 families. Investigations into the origin of the fire are ongoing. Unidentified man killed in St. James. Police in St. James are seeking assistance in ascertaining the identity of a man who was found with gunshot wounds on Bogue Hill Main Road in the parish on Wednesday. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 12:30 a.m., residents heard explosions. However, the body of the unidentified man was not discovered until 6 a.m. The police were summoned and the scene was processed before the body was removed to the morgue. The deceased is of dark complexion, medium build, about 173 centimeters or 5 feet 8 inches tall, appears to be in his mid-40s, and has a dreadlock hairstyle. The man was clad in a white merino and black jeans at the time of his death, police said. Anyone with information that can assist the police in identifying the body is asked to contact the Montego Bay Police at 876-979-8452, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Mother of 2 to be sentenced for beating daughter with electric wire. A mother of 2 was dragged to the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday after she was charged for using an electric wire to beat her 14-year-old daughter. Camille Summon pleaded guilty to assault occasioning actual bodily harm and cruelty to a child when she stood before Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague. The Crown told the judge that while reprimanding the child on March 30, Summon used an electric wire to beat her all over her body, causing cuts and bruises. However, the Crown did not disclose who reported the incident, which landed the woman in court. After hearing the allegation, the judge said, "I can understand why you were charged with cruelty." Explaining her action, the woman said that she doesn't normally hit her children. "I am a single mother of 2, Your Honor. I work very hard. It has come to my knowledge that she's interested in other things that is not childish. She don't listen. It hurt me as a mother that I see my 14-year-old texting her friend, discussing things that she wants to do," someone said, adding that she knows she was wrong and even issued an apology to her daughter. In response, Cole Montague said, "Mother, one thing I know for a fact is that perhaps one of the hardest jobs on God's green earth these days is to parent a child and to parent a teenager especially because they are exposed to so much. She continued, "Some of the things we learned about when we were 18, 20, you're hearing 11-year-old, 10-year-old, and if you go to some of the basic schools, you would be frightened to hear what they're talking about. But there's a place that as a parent you must not cross. That's why I allow you to talk, because anytime a judge is supposed to sentence, I think judges must try to appreciate why a person acted in the way that they acted," she continued. Turning to the teenager, who was accompanied by her grandmother to court, the judge asked her to remove her mask. "Such a pretty little thing," Cole Montague said after seeing her face. "I want you to do well and I don't want you to be distracted." The judge went on to ask, "Talk to Auntie Judge. You think you have been good all the time?" "Yes," she answered. "Not even Auntie Judge good all the time," Cole Montague said in a motherly tone. Responding, the child said she only sometimes sent the text. A social inquiry report was requested for someone before she is to be sentenced. Sentencing is expected to be done on May 25. "Little one, be good for me and be good for yourself," the judge said. 16-year-old to be sentenced after robbing schoolgirl of $500. A 16-year-old boy who is among two people accused of using a knife to rob a grade 7 student of $500 is to be sentenced come June 12. The teenager, who is charged alongside 18-year-old Oblique Davis, was the only one from the pair to plead guilty to the charge of robbery with aggravation in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. The allegations are that on February 21, the defendant, one armed with a knife, allegedly approached the complainant in the corporate area, held her up and robbed her of the $500. The court was told that Davis and the teenager allegedly tried to escape. However, they were swiftly caught by citizens. The mother of the 16-year-old told the presiding judge Lauren Cole Montague that he was in state care at the Manning's Boy home in Kingston when he ran away from the facility. The incident, she said, occurred shortly after. During the proceedings, the judge ordered that a social inquiry report be prepared before the child is to be sentenced. Additionally, the Crown is to receive a further statement from the complainant. Davis was remanded until June 12, while the teenager's bail was extended. St. Catherine wanted man arrested in Manchester. A man wanted for murder and the shooting in St. Catherine was taken into custody yesterday in Manchester. The individual is to face an identification parade. The police say the man was a passenger in a minibus that was stopped about midday during a spot check on New Green Road in Mandeville. He was reportedly acting in a suspicious manner and was questioned. The man was subsequently taken into custody. Man arrested following fetal beating in Clarendon. One man is dead and another is in custody following a dispute in Mapen, Clarendon last night. The deceased is 64-year-old Paul Clark of Loddy Green in Frankfield in the parish. The police report that about 8:19 p.m., both men had a disagreement which escalated into a fight. It is reported that Clark used a piece of board to hit the 44-year-old man. The man took hold of the board and used it to hit Clark several times in the chest. Clark collapsed and later died from his injuries. The man subsequently turned himself into the police and remains in custody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.